only one that came back? Let's wait for others to come on in. I know I said 10:30, but I got downstairs and I had to make some French fry for Mr. Ronald, and then where's the baby? Okay. Hey, Syria. All right, I'm gonna just go ahead on and stop playing it, and hopefully y'all this will come back because I know it's late. Hey, Laura. I know it's late, guys, but I'm gonna just go ahead on and play it for you guys. I decided that it is better. Hold on 1 second. All right, let's see. Did y'all get the notification? Yeah, Rand, I saw that earlier. I saw that footage earlier. All right, let's go ahead and stop playing it because we all got to go to bed. So I'm going to go ahead and pull it up for you guys. I'm going to go ahead and pull the footage from yesterday, which is when the attorney, why is it? I want to play it. There we go. There it is. Oh, I was having a hard time, guys. I was having a hard time. I don't know why it keeps jumping like that. Yeah, I don't know why it's acting up like this. Hold on. I think it's because I'm trying to download it. Hold on a second. Hold on a second, y'all. I'm trying to download it at the same time, and I think it's causing it to giving me a hiccup. It's because I'm downloading it, y'all. Hey, Connie. It's acting up because I'm downloading it. You know what? I'm going to stop the download. And then so we can watch it. And I'll just download it another time. I'm going to stop the download. Okay, so I stopped it so we can just watch it. Okay, guys, these footage is from yesterday. I know they had to stop it because they didn't want it to be live, like actual live, but now we're able to play it now. So you guys get to see the testimony from the officer and things like that, okay?
Let me help. That's actually cool. I'm just moving out. Who are you? Who are you? I'm Alex. I'm with AD. Okay. Who are you? I've never seen you. I've never seen you before. I'm with that.
Do you want me to?
All rise. The Superior Court of Fulton County, Atlanta Judicial Circuit is now in session. The Honorable Chief Judge Uri Glanville presiding. Court now in order.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Be seated. All right, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. We're back on the record in the matter of the state of Georgia versus Khalif Adams et al. In 22 SC 183572. Mr. Beatty and Mr. Partridge, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Judge.
Mr. Stillwell, Mr. Bartz, and Mr. Sharp, good afternoon, gentlemen. Mr. Farley and Mr. Menendez.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Afternoon, sir. Mr. Williams, Mr. Steele, Mr. Adams, good afternoon, gentlemen.
Your Honor.
Mr. Mender, Ms. Fagan, good afternoon. Let's see, Mr. Kendrick and, okay, where's Mr. Weinstein, good afternoon, sir. All right. Mr. Ewing, Mr. Matthews, good afternoon. Mr. Myrick and Ms. Bernard, good afternoon. Mr. Nichols and Mr. Gardner, good afternoon. Bless you. Mr. Adams and Ms. Callen, good afternoon. Mr. Blaylock and Mr. Hill, good afternoon. Mr. Dorsey and Mr. Jimenez, good afternoon. Mr. Evans and Mr. Johnson, good afternoon. Mr. Ryan and Ms. D. Williams, good afternoon. Okay, Ms. Hilton and Ms. Love, good afternoon, ladies. And do we have, is that Mr. Burnick?
Yes, Your Honor.
Good afternoon, sir. All right. Good afternoon, Mr. Randolph. All right, sir. Thank you. Okay, let's see.
Has that monitor been added?
No.
Okay, ladies, that is Ms. Love and Ms. Hilton. Are you ready to proceed with your next witness?
Your Honor, with the court's permission, we have two witnesses on Mr. Stillwell's motion to suppress proofs of illegal detention and search, as he has labeled it. And one of them we flew out of Miami. Would the court permit, if there's no objection, the state to argue that motion first?
Okay, Mr. Short, any issue? I don't think, shouldn't be.
Well, I'm not trying to make it not have a moment. I'm just gonna make an observation.
Do you have an objection?
Well, I do have a general objection.
What's your basis of the objection? You're supposed to be called anyways, right? For me to hear this motion today? Correct?
Sure,
Yes or no?
yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so you're gonna be ready for the motion anyways, right?
I'm ready for the motion.
Okay, so what's your objection?
I would just like to point out, Your Honor, that, and Ms. Hilton, I did happen to speak to her just before this, so I want to acknowledge that. But the state is controlling the docket here.
No, actually, I do. That's
Well-
one of the only things I do control is the method and manner of presentation. So really, it's my call. But
Okay.
what is your specific objection, sir?
I do not have an office in this building. I do not have a satellite office in this building. The defense has not been granted permission to use that office, which the state has occupied as well. Each day, I have like 8 to 10 different notebooks with transcripts and different things, and I have to make an educated guess about what to lug to court every day to be prepared to what we're going to discuss. And we were in the middle of a motion. Now the state is asking to move to a different motion, which involves pounds and pounds of other papers and other materials and everything else. And I'm just saying, moving forward, I can deal with it today, Your Honor. But moving forward, it makes it very difficult, just in very practical terms, logistically, for us defense attorneys, or at least I'm speaking for myself, to switch and change orders and deal with different materials when we have to lug our stuff in every day and figure out what's going to be needed and what's not. Because
Okay, the argument that he's having is regarding the prosecutor changing what motion is supposed to be worked on. At the last minute, they switched it on him, and it came like a shock to them in regards to that. So he's basically putting it on record that since they don't have an office here and all that, he's lugging all this thing, and he was prepared to continue with the other motion and then turn around, and now he's doing this. So, okay. That they're doing something else that they thought was different, okay?
it is true, I do have things on a flash drive, but it's not easy to cross-examine witnesses and bring the computer over there and ask them to look at your computer. It's just, that's not really how it's done. And that's the only point I'm trying to make, Your Honor. Moving forward, I can deal with it today. I'm going to get along, but it's just difficult.
Okay, your general observations noted, Mr. Short. Thank you. Call your next witness, madam.
Your Honor, the state calls Officer Ledesma,
Spell his last name for me, please.
Ledesma. Ledesma.
All right, Officer Ledesma, sir, come on up to the witness stand if you won't mind, please, sir. Once you get there, if you'd be so kind to turn and face Deputy Ingram and be sworn as witness, please.
And Your Honor, if I could get the material over to my computer.
You can do that as I'm swearing the witness in, okay? Okay, all right.
Raise your hand. You swear firm testimony you give today the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth.
I do.
I'm gonna state and spell your first and last name for the court, please.
First name is Oliver, Oliver. Last name Ledesma, Ledesma.
Good afternoon, Officer.
Hold on one second. Are you ready now, Mr. Sharp?
I'm trying to get the permission. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to.
I apologize, Your Honor.
You see, he's having to look up the paperwork. He's trying to find it so he could be ready. And something he's going to realize he doesn't have.
Yes. Do we have those much? Still those much. We should. No, you're so squared away. Thank you, sir.
Almost there. Okay, I'm ready. Thank you.
All right, madam, you can go ahead and proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good afternoon, Officer Ledesma.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Officer Ledesma, would you please tell the court where you were employed on July 15th of 2015?
I was employed with the City of Atlanta Police Department.
Are you still with the City of Atlanta Police Department?
No, ma'am.
And where do you currently work?
Miami.
Witnesses.
Yes, Officer Ledesma, pull your chair up as close as you can to the microphone. Speak directly into it so they can all hear you, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. Use your outside voice. Okay, all right. Go ahead, madam.
Thank you, Your Honor. Officer Ledesma, where do you currently work?
I currently work for Miami Beach Police Department.
On July the 15th of 2015, were you certified by the Peace Officer Standards Training Council, Georgia?
Yes, ma'am, I was.
And in what capacity did you work with the Atlanta Police Department on that date?
As a police officer.
On that same date, did you participate in a traffic stop involving Shannon Jackson or Shannon Stillwell and Trontavia Stevens, among other people?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you recall the nature of the traffic stop?
Yes, I do.
What was the nature of the traffic stop?
It was for failure to stop at the stop sign, a traffic infraction.
Once the traffic stop was made, do you recall what happened?
Yes, ma'am.
Would you go ahead and tell the court what that was?
We conducted a traffic stop at 2915 Macon Drive.
And is that in Fulton County?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
We can,
And what kind of vehicle do you recall?
It was a silver Honda Civic, I believe.
And what happened after you all conducted the traffic stop?
I approached the driver's side, which was occupied by Mr. Stevens, and my partner went along the passenger side of the vehicle.
And was Shannon Jackson in the rear of the vehicle as a passenger?
Yes, he was seated in the back seat.
Did you all observe or detect any odors as you approached the vehicle?
Who's talking and what's the basis? Huh? Okay.
Yeah.
I'll sustain this to form. That was Mr. Sharp for the record. And Madam, you can rephrase.
What did you observe with any of your senses as you all approached the vehicle?
Well, first I asked Mr. Stevens for his license. He said he didn't have one. And while speaking to Mr. Stevens, I smelled the odor of marijuana emanating from the vehicle.
As a result of that, what happened?
As a result of that, all three occupants were ordered out of the vehicle.
And was there a Miss Please in the vehicle as well? Pleas?
Yes, ma'am. She was seated in the front seat, the front passenger seat.
After all of the occupants were removed from the vehicle, what did you all do?
Everybody was detained, and I stayed with the occupants of the vehicle, and my partner, Officer Candy Kai, searched the vehicle.
And what was found in the search of the vehicle?
Officer Candy Kai discovered a brown bag. Inside the brown bag, a firearm was discovered with an altered serial number, 12 individual bags of marijuana, codeine pills, and a scale was discovered. And I think that's about it.
Now, were you aware of any resolution as it pertained to this case?
I'm not sure what your question is, ma'am.
After you all made the arrest, did you all have to come and, not for a motions hearing, but did you all ever come back for a trial in this case?
Yes, I believe it was 2016.
In 2016, did you testify at a motions hearing?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you know whether or not that motions hearing, do you recall whether it pertained to this exact stop?
Yes, it did.
And was it a motion to suppress the items found in the car?
I believe so, ma'am.
And do you recall whether the questions that were asked were similar to the ones that I've asked you so far?
All right. What's the relevance, Madam?
Your Honor, this issue that we are here on now has
Let her finish. Let her finish. Then you can respond. Let her finish, and then you can respond. I'm the trier of fact in the case, okay? If you had a jury in this case, that'd be fine, but I can assume what is admissible and what's not. Okay, Madam, what would you like to tell me?
Your Honor, we previously in this case involving this traffic stop, the defendant at that time filed a very similar, actually the exact same motion to suppress. They moved the court to suppress the marijuana and the gun and the items that were found inside the car.
Goes to weight. I'll allow it. So, I'll sustain the objection, Mr. Sharp made, but I'll permit it so that we can, and I'll make a determination, okay?
Thank you,
On
Judge.
the individual facts and circumstances.
Thank you, Judge. And do you recall exactly where, let me back up. Was it Officer Kandikai or was it you that actually pulled the gun from the car?
It was Officer Candy Kai.
After you all discovered the marijuana and the gun, did you notice anything in particular about the gun?
The serial number was altered, was scratched off.
And is that a problem? Is that illegal?
Yes, that is illegal to have a firearm that with a scratch off serial number.
And were the occupants of the vehicle charged with the marijuana and the other contraband, specifically the firearm with the altered scratched off serial number?
Yes, ma'am.
That's all that I have for now, Judge.
Cross.
Your Honor, please call.
Officer Ledesma.
Yes, sir.
All right, my name is Max Shard. I represent Shannon Stillwell. When did you leave the Atlanta City Police Department?
2016, I believe.
Now, you said we were in the car. Am I correct to believe that it was Officer Kandakai and you in the police car?
Correct.
Okay, in one car?
Yes, sir.
No other police were involved in this incident?
Not at that time.
What do you mean not at that time?
Officers responded afterwards.
Afterwards at the scene?
Yes.
Do you remember who those officers were?
I know Sergeant Medina and Sergeant Wiskeman arrived on scene.
Did they take part in the search of the automobile?
No, sir.
Who was driving the police car?
I was driving the police car.
Was there a dash cam?
I believe so, yes.
Was that saved to your knowledge?
I'm not sure.
Do you have possession of the dash cam here today?
I do not, sir.
Okay. Do you know the whereabouts of Officer Kandakai?
Yes.
Where is he?
He's waiting to take the trial and to take the stand. He's in the courthouse somewhere.
Very good. So you were driving the car. Who, you said that you saw a failure to stop at a stop sign. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. And who observed this?
I did.
What time of day was this?
The traffic stop was initiated at 6:16 p.m.
Was your police car traveling in the same direction of travel as the silver Honda or the opposite way?
I was directly behind the vehicle.
How long were you directly behind the vehicle?
I'm not exactly sure how long.
You have no recollection or just not an exact?
No, I don't know how long I was behind the vehicle. I noticed the vehicle after it committed the infraction.
Now, once you blue light, did you blue light the vehicle?
Yes.
Does, with your city vehicles, does that automatically initiate the dash cam typically?
Yes.
Okay. Officer Ledesma, correct me if I'm wrong, you said you approached the driver's side?
Correct.
Okay. And you engaged Trontavious Stevens?
Correct.
And when you engaged Mr. Stevens, he was in the driver's seat of the vehicle?
Yes, sir.
Seated in the vehicle?
Yes, sir.
Okay. No one fled, no one tried to run or anything like that?
No, sir.
Okay, and you said Shannon, my client Shannon Stillwell was in the vehicle, correct?
Correct.
All right, and do you recall what seat he was in?
I'm not sure exactly, but he was in the back seat.
Okay. And there was brief mention of another individual in the car. Who was that individual?
Miss, please.
Miss, please? Is her first name Mauricia?
No, it's Markeisha, I believe.
Keisha. Okay. Were you ever able let me ask you this. Officer Kandakai went to the front passenger side of the car.
Yes.
Did you observe who Officer Kandakai was speaking to?
Not exactly sure. I was talking to Mr. Stevens.
Okay. How long did you talk to Mr. Stevens?
I'm not sure exactly.
Do you have an estimate?
Maybe a minute or two.
Okay. What was your initial inquiry from Mr. Stevens?
To provide me his driver's license.
Okay. And did he not have a license, or was there something wrong with his license? Please remind me.
He stated he didn't have one.
To your knowledge, was there any determination made if Mr. Stillwell had a valid license?
Not to my knowledge.
How about Miss Please?
I'm not sure.
Okay. Was it determined who the car belonged to?
Yes.
Who was that?
To Miss, please.
Okay. Was Mr. Stevens ever issued a ticket for a license violation?
Yes.
Okay. Was you indicated that there was marijuana that you said you smelled?
Correct.
Okay, was that raw marijuana that you smelled or burnt marijuana?
It was raw marijuana that I smelled.
That you said
That I smelled.
smelled. Okay. At what point how long were you speaking to Mr. Stevens before you ordered everyone out of the car?
Maybe a minute or so.
Okay. Did you, when you ordered the individuals out of the car, did you search their purses?
I don't recall.
Would that be standard operating procedure?
Yes.
Okay. Did you find any drugs to your recollection on Mr. Stillwell?
Not to my recollection, no.
Did you find any handguns on Mr. Stillwell?
We didn't find anything on anybody's person.
Okay. Where, when you said you detained the individuals, were they placed in handcuffs?
Yes.
Front or back?
I don't recall.
Were they, where were they placed? Were they placed in a police car, on the street, somewhere else?
I believe they were on the street with me while I was with them while Officer Kandakai searched the vehicle.
In handcuffs on the ground?
I'm not sure if they were on the ground.
Okay. These other individual officers, you said eventually other officers showed up?
Correct.
And I know you listed two. Were there, that you thought you remembered, were there more than two?
I don't remember if more officers showed up.
How many other police cars showed up?
I don't recall.
How long were you out there?
At the scene?
Yes.
I don't remember.
You have no estimate of time?
No, I don't remember how long ago.
How long did Officer Kandakai's search of the car take?
A few minutes.
Okay. Is that as exact as you can be? with that statement, a few minutes?
Yes, I don't recall how long Officer Kanikai was searching the vehicle.
Okay. You would agree that you said there was a brown bag with some marijuana and some pills in it?
Correct.
Okay, we don't know, or I shouldn't say we don't know. You do not know where specifically in the car, officer, you did not observe where he pulled the brown bag from, correct?
No, sir.
Okay. And the same goes for the handgun?
Correct.
Okay. I beg the court's indulgence. The brown bag, did the brown bag, to your recollection, have any markings on it?
I do not recall any markings on the bag.
The pills, were they in a prescription bottle?
Yes,
Who were they prescribed to?
to Miss Please.
Okay, so Miss Please had a valid prescription for the pills?
Yes,
And this valid pill bottle was located in the same brown bag as the marijuana?
I believe so.
What did you do? Are you testifying surely from your memory from that day, or did you refresh your recollection before coming in here today?
I refreshed my recollection by reading my report.
Reading your report,
Yes.
did you speak to the prosecutors?
No.
Okay, did you look at any transcripts or anything like that?
No.
Okay, thank you.
Can you redirect, madam?
Just briefly, Your Honor. Officer Ledesma, did you prior to reading your report, did you even remember this incident?
I had a brief recollection and memory of it.
And estimating, how many stops would you say you made since July 15, 2015?
Maybe 500. Hard to say.
In July of 2015 with the Atlanta Police Department, was it routine practice to make a report after a traffic stop had been completed?
A report? No, but if someone's arrested, yes, we make a report.
And how is it that you as a law enforcement officer or your colleagues, how was it that you drafted the report? Did you do it as you were making the arrest or at a different time?
At a later time.
And the reports that were drafted, would they reflect the time that the draft was first written?
I'm sorry, can you rephrase?
Did the reports with the Atlanta Police Department reflect the time that the report was written or drafted?
Yes.
Do you recall what time exactly, I think you may have testified about it earlier, but what time exactly that traffic stop was made?
It was made at approximately 6:16 p.m.
Now, in military time, what would 2016 be?
6:16?
I'm sorry, not in military time, in regular time. What is 2016?
It's 6:16.
It's not 8:16?
I'm sorry, correct, yes. Sorry about that.
And if the report reflects that the traffic stop was conducted at 2016, what time does that mean that the traffic stop was conducted?
At 8:16
PM?
p.m.
You testified on cross-examination, you aren't exactly sure how long you all were with the traffic stop, how long you were on scene. Is that correct?
Correct.
If I show you a copy of that report from that incident, might it refresh your recollection?
It's not going to tell me how long I was on scene for.
I understand. But would the time that the report was drafted give you some?
Okay, yes. Yes.
I'm going to show Mr. Sharp what it is that I'll be bringing up to you before I do that.
Your Honor, I object.
Cases.
It's not his report, that's why the state needs that report.
Your Honor, it does not have to be his report.
Yeah, anything can be used for refresh recollection. So I'll overrule the objection. You can show it to him.
Thank you, Your Honor. Officer Ledesma, I'm going to call your attention to
Thank you, Laura.
page 3 of the report and ask you to read this line right here at the very top.
Says,
To
Without
yourself.
saying what it says.
oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
Once you've had a chance to take a look at it, let us know when you're done.
Have you had a chance?
I'm done, Your Honor.
All right. Can I help you with something, Mr. Sharp? Because I can hear you and I can't compete with you talking. So if you got something to say, could you just kind of keep it down, please?
Certainly, Your Honor.
Okay, all right.
Having looked at the report, are you able to tell the court whether you were on scene less than an hour?
Yes.
And by yes, is it that you were in fact on scene less than an hour?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, that's all that I had.
All right, any other redirect, a recross, I should say.
Yes, please, Your Honor. Officer Ledesma, the state just had you review another officer's report, correct?
I'm not I didn't see who authorized that report.
Could I borrow your computer?
In fact, you may. You're welcome.
It's your report?
What is this in the officer's name?
I think if you go to the first line, it says I, officer.
Okay.
Is that your report?
Yes, sir.
Did you review this report before coming to court today?
Yes.
Ask and
Okay.
answer.
Did you also review Officer Kandikai's report?
I'm not sure if Officer Kandikai wrote a report.
Okay. So let me ask you this. The brown bag that has come up, we are talking about a brown paper bag, correct? Not a purse or anything of that nature?
No, it's not a paper bag. I'm not sure what material it's made out of, but it's kind of like a cloth bag.
Okay, a cloth bag. All right, thank you for that. You were able to look at your report and determine that the stop lasted less than an hour, is what you just said, correct?
Correct.
Were you able, by looking at the report, could you tell how many minutes it lasted?
I mean, by the time I started the report, it was almost an hour later. So,
Oh, okay, so when we're saying less than an hour, the incident lasted approximately an hour. Is that your?
a little less than an hour. Correct.
Okay, I'm asking you, because you've had an opportunity to review the report, you're saying a little less than an hour. What do you mean by that?
By the time I started my report, it was almost an hour later.
Okay, so we're talking about almost an hour.
Correct.
All right, thank you.
Anything further?
Only briefly. Where would you have written the report? At the scene or at the police station?
At the police station.
And would that have been after everyone had been taken into custody and secured?
Correct. After transporting everyone, securing them at the station, and then starting the reports.
And how far was the station from the location of the traffic stop?
Maybe 15 minutes or so.
And did you draft the report at 9:14 p.m.?
Yes, ma'am.
And where were the people who were arrested during the traffic stop? Where were they secured?
They were secured at the station with us.
And the process of taking a person into custody, handcuffing 3 different individuals, and transporting them to a police station and securing them, would that take longer than 5 minutes?
Yes, ma'am.
Would it take longer than 20 minutes?
It could take approximately 20 minutes or so.
Thank you, that's all that I have.
Anything further, sir?
I beg the court's indulgence briefly. Just like to put something on record.
You want to testify?
Well, no, there's a discovery violation.
I'm not going to take that up right now, okay?
Okay, well,
Why don't you put it in a motion and I can deal with it?
well, because, Your Honor,
Put it in a motion, I can deal with it, okay? But I'm not going to let you just proffer it while there's right in open court, okay?
okay,
Mr. Sharp, for your purposes and for your client's purposes, it's best you put it in writing,
okay.
okay?
Could I request a brief recess then so I may review everything the state plans to use with future witnesses today to make sure it's been turned over before it's used?
No.
Okay.
I mean, what I'll do is if you find out later that it hasn't been turned over you, then certainly you put that in a motion and I'll certainly consider it at that point in time.
Okay.
Okay? All right. Anything further from Officer Ledesma?
No, Your Honor.
May Officer Ledesma be permanently excused for purposes of motion?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. We can go ahead and, so Officer Desmond, I'm going to go ahead and excuse you at this point in time. Thank you for your patience and with us. And we will talk with you some other later time. Please don't discuss your testimony with anybody except the attorneys in this case, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. All right, before you call your next witness, Mr. Sharp, let me just kind of perfect some for the record, and I'll tell us the state as well. If I find something, and of course, Mr. Sharp, this pertains to you and with any counsel. If evidence is presented later that changes a ruling that the court has, you're an officer of the court, you're duty bound to let me know that, and then at that point in time, I'll reconsider my earlier ruling. Okay, sir? Okay.
Yes, Your Honor,
Okay.
I need certain materials in advance to prepare examination.
Okay, but the state's telling you, have you provided all the discovery at this point in time, madam?
Your Honor, I do believe that this has been provided to Mr. Sharp, and I will also state that in Odyssey is the discovery of this incident, is the transcript of the previous hearing, and.
The one you mentioned from 2016.
Correct, Your Honor.
Okay.
As well as the guilty plea of the defendant in this case.
Mr. Sharp, did you file that motion?
I filed this motion.
Did you file the motion in 2016?
No, I didn't represent Mr. Stowe in 2016.
Okay.
And we,
I will say, I have a through discovery, I have a barely legible report authored by Officer Kandakai about this incident. I have no no reports authored by Ledesma. And so therein lies the problem.
Like I said, I would just tell everybody again, you're in a continuing obligation to supplement discovery. And like I said, Mr. Short, if it changes at some point in time, please file a motion or reconsider anything that I may rule upon, because the court will, have a more accurate picture of the evidence at that point and at that point in time, or change position at that point. Okay.
And Your Honor, if the court would like, I can allow Mr. Sharp to compare the report that Officer Ledesma just used to the one that he was providing in discovery.
Sure.
I would just prefer to have the report so we use the court and not compare after a motion.
It could very well be that he's looking at the identical report.
Yeah, and that would be too easy just to look at, Mr. Short. How many pages is the report?
I'm looking at Officer Kennedy's.
Is that who we're calling next?
Yes, it is, Your Honor.
So I will have his report.
And I would ask that the court simply inquire again the number of pages.
Yeah,
of the report.
How many pages is the report you have, sir?
I can pull it up if it's offered by Officer Kennedy. It's bait stamped. I see, looks like 3.
Three pages?
It says report Officer Kendicott.
This one does too.
So that one is 3?
This one says report officer, and then in parentheses, Kennedy's.
Okay, how many pages is it?
It has,
I'll just direct that both of you take a look at you can take a look at the state's report right now, Mr. Sharp.
Well, if this is the same report, so then the state is saying that Officer Ledesma identified a different officer's report as his own.
To refresh his recollection, we've already gone through that, okay?
Well, no, he testified that's my report, and I'm looking
Your
at it
Honor,
right here. It
if you
says,
simply compare the two.
it says report Officer Kendicott. I don't know what else.
And it also says whatever Mr. Sharp asked the officer.
Okay, is it pertain to statements of the defendant, of your client?
It doesn't, we're not dealing with the statements of my client on this motion.
Well, what are we dealing with then?
That was what we were doing yesterday.
No, I still have,
Changed.
okay, go ahead, I'm sorry. Go ahead, I apologize, go ahead.
This deals with a prior act, and the state has a report that says Officer Kendicott is the reporting officer.
Okay.
And Officer Ledesma just said that's my report, which is,
Okay, I was gonna go to weight, so.
okay,
So can we move on to something else?
yes.
Okay,
I just wanted to make sure that Officer Ledesma did in fact write a report that said, reporting Officer Ledesma, I had that report to be able to ask Officer Ledesma questions.
Your Honor, I would ask that the court inquire of Mr. Sharp, since he has the report that he is referring to on his computer right now. I would ask that the court ask him to simply read the first line of the report that he has in his possession that was served in discovery,
I'm reading that, but
out loud to the court.
I'm reading report Officer Kendicott.
Your Honor, we would ask for a reason that the court inquire of Mr. Sharp.
I read it, go ahead.
It says Officer Kendicott and I, Officer
Your
Ledesma.
Honor, under narrative, the first line.
Well, I'm not.
Your Honor,
Just read it, Mr. Sharp, please. Thank you.
Well, I provided to Your Honor, if you would like.
Just read it for purpose of the record, please,
It says,
so we can proceed.
on 15 July 2000, I can't barely read this that's been provided by the state. And Your Honor,
Your Honor, I would ask.
actually see it, what's been provided for discovery and the quality of the copy. And approximately, I cannot read that, Officer Kendicott, Unit 2343, and I, I'm assuming that's an I, Officer O. Ledesma, Unit 2342, were patrolling the area of Brownsville Road. I can read that. Okay? And I'm also going to go up to page 1, which I would like Ms. Love to read since we're ordering each other to do things, and read where it says report officer and who made the report.
Your Honor, for the record, these reports are identical.
So 2 officers wrote identical reports, is that?
The report that Mr. Sharp is reading from reads exactly the way that the report that Mr. Sharp just inquired about with Mr. Ledesma. There's no discovery violation.
Okay, all right. I'm going to take a few minutes. So maybe you can, take a look at each other's reports and see if you can kind of justify them. We're going to be in recess for about 10 minutes, okay? All right, all rise.
Hear that, you just give it to me. I'm saying you for
Agree with me.
You're welcome, Charmin. Oh, Spitting Fire, thank you for the Cash App yesterday. Excuse me. Oh, my bad. Sorry. They're not limping. What happened is they have a brace on their leg. They all have a brace on their leg, guys. Thank you. I have allergies, y'all. This is the season. That's if they try to run, they'll shock them. Thank you. Gotta sneeze again. Sorry. Thank you. Thank you, Gaiman. Gotta do it again. Hold on. Sorry. Thank you. Now, this is right before this thing happened, y'all. Watch what happened. How Thug look around. My throat is itching so bad.
Yeah, here you go. Yeah, one cup.
Leave me alone, spitting fire. Leave me alone, woman. Hold on a second, y'all. Trying to get it to play right. To play right. Why is it acting up? You see how it's acting up? I guess I gotta keep doing that until it gets caught up. So what's the number? 1228. 1228. Hold on a second, y'all. Sorry about that, y'all.
Folks, we're gonna need these extras a little bit further, okay? Let's go, sir, Dave.
You hear him calling him Ryan, right? You hear them calling him. Look. See, they're calling him. They're calling him. You see that, right? You see them calling him? You saw how they called him, right? Y'all saw how okay, let's back up a little bit. Let's back up a little bit. Hold on. Let's back up a little bit. Y'all missed it. Hold on. Hold on. They said somebody smelled marijuana on him. Let's take a look.
Folks, we're gonna need these extras a little bit further, okay?
The judge goes take a recess, right?
Let's go, sir, Dave.
See how they called him? Now this is when you're gonna start hearing the yelling. Do you think they saw him with that stuff early in the day when they called us? What do you think? So they knew that. Ryan. They call Ryan. The one that they caught with the marijuana in his underwear. You know that one? Did y'all see the video yet? Of them catching and them stripping him? Did y'all see that video? It's been going all over the place. They smell it in the van. Yeah, I think they probably smelled it ahead of time. And I think they smelled it ahead of time that he had it in his. No. Because remember they changed at the jail. They change their clothes at the jail because when they transport them in that orange jumpsuit, whatever color jumpsuit they have. Somebody said they just walked in the courtroom. They have nothing to. Somebody just said they just walked in the courtroom. Yes. Hold on. Somebody lied and said that was Young Thug said for everybody to leave the stop rolling the camera. It wasn't even Young Thug that said that. It was the officers that said told them to stop rolling it. Oh, why this thing acting up? I guess it's acting up because I told it I stopped it. No, it's acting up. But they end up turning it off. So you end up telling people to leave. That's it. And let's see when we came back. This is what happened when we came back. Now, this is what happened when we came back. This is when we came back. He came back. He was sitting in the seat. You see him sitting back there? Look, he's sitting back. When he came back, he was sitting right back. You see him back there?
Yeah, now approach
Right,
yourself.
see you go by the water pipe? Yes. All right, we have everybody here? No, you're Mr. Johnson.
Okay, all right.
Mr. Box.
Yeah, we get that. I agree. We good.
Mr. Martin, yes. Anybody else? Miss anybody else? We good? Okay, all right. Council's, given the lateness of the hour and everything else, we're just gonna pick back up tomorrow morning. And we'll do that, as I mentioned earlier, tomorrow's the 20th, at 10 o'clock, and we'll go until, late in the afternoon, as much as we can. So councils, if you just have your witnesses, accordingly for tomorrow, we'll just see what we get and we'll break accordingly. And that's how we'll handle, the festivities on the 20th. As I mentioned to you earlier, originally, I had said to you councils that on the 21st, we were going to take an administrative day. I have changed my mind. We are going to, given the fact, and I'll tell you why I changed my mind, is I'm pretty transparent. I handed out the juror questionnaires from group 5 on Monday. You all got your thumb drives. I would like to, Friday the 21st at 3:30, take up joint strikes. So that should give you, that gave you yesterday, half of today, and whatever time you need to take on Thursday, and we'll do that Friday afternoon. I won't be here Friday morning either, so as I have some unrelated court business, that's why we're going to start, and we'll do that at 3:30 on Friday the 21st. So you need to plan on being here for that day at 3:30 on Friday, and that's the only thing I'm going to take up on Friday afternoon at 3:30 is joint strikes. So get together with your colleagues in the state and be prepared to tell me what those people are at that point in time, and then we'll mark those people accordingly. And then on the 24th, we'll begin with several experts that we have scheduled for that week. Okay? Questions?
Yes, Your Honor. Notify the court, based on the court that indicated previously regarding schedule, and I checked with Mr. Steele, Mr. Williams, they don't have any objections. I will not be here on Friday. I purchased airline tickets to the out of state on Friday based on the court's previous representation of our schedule. Don't believe there's going to be any objection, so I advise the court.
That's fine. All right. Mr. Williams or Mr. Steele, any issues? Okay, all right, okay, all right. Thank you, Mr. Adams, for letting me know. All right, yes. Mr. Sharp.
Which motions are we planning on handling tomorrow specifically, if I may ask?
Well, originally, I thought that we were going to be handling Mr. Farley's motion and yours from yesterday. Miss Love threw a wrinkle in that today I wasn't planning on handling that today, but given the fact that it's going to take a little bit of time anyways, we'll complete. Who will you have tomorrow, Miss Love and Miss Hilton?
Tomorrow,
Yes, ma'am.
we will, if we could, tomorrow was the day that I asked that the court allow, other motions to be heard, so we would ask that the court hear the remainder.
You got 2 other lawyers. Come on.
That's fine, Your Honor.
Got 2 other lawyers.
And so we will have.
You just tell me, Mr. Short's question's a reasonable one. Who are you going to have available so that we can go ahead
We'd
and
like to have the remainder of the witnesses from yesterday's hearing heard tomorrow.
so Mr. Farley, the one involving Mr. Farley and Mr. Stillwell, correct?
Yes.
All right. So who are you calling? Okay, let's just find out. Who are you calling tomorrow? Who Who you plan on calling tomorrow?
We'll be handling those.
Okay. Yes, ma'am. Okay, that's okay. Madam, good afternoon. Who are you gonna call tomorrow?
Yes, Your Honor, you will hear from Investigator Flores, Investigator Vigorito, as well as Investigator Danny. That should conclude all the witnesses for the Farley, Stillwell, Mark 16 motion. Also, Your Honor, we will hear from Investigator Storno that will handle one of Mr. Stillwell motions regarding the seizure of his cell phones on March 21st, 2022. And then if time allows, Your Honor, I believe that Mr. Floyd, we're gonna confirm with that, but Mr. Floyd should be there tomorrow in order to hear the plea.
Okay, well, we'll, like I said, we'll get as much done as we can. Does that tell you, Mr. Sharp, what we're covering tomorrow then?
I will follow with, I have questions, but
Okay, that's fine. I mean, look, folks, I'm not trying to, look, I'm okay with you all taking stuff out of order. Just let each other know and let me know. So I can focus my attention to whatever motions have been filed and bring the appropriate motion. So if you decide you want to change, let Mr. Chamberlain and Mr. Kearns know so we can pull the particular motions and your responses to have those brought with us, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, so that's the only thing. I'm not annoyed or anything about that. Just let me know, okay? Okay. Yes, anything else?
that's it, thank you.
All right.
Your Honor.
Yes, Mr. Weinstein.
Yeah, Your Honor, I would just like to put on the record for today that I was asked to leave the courtroom and I was instructed to leave all of my bags, computer behind. I have no way of knowing if my bag or my computer was searched. I don't know if any client confidences were leaked during that process. I have no idea what happened.
Captain Kendall, can you show Mr. Weinstein the video that we, on this particular proceedings when we were out of the courtroom?
Yes, sir.
Okay, does that satisfy you?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, all right. Anything else?
That's all, Your Honor.
Okay, all right. Ladies and gentlemen, unless we have anything else, I'll go ahead and excuse for the evening. Okay? Huh?
Yeah.
You may.
Your Honor, I don't know if the record properly depicts what occurred, but
We don't know what occurred. You don't need to file a motion.
I'd like to, Your Honor, everybody stands when you come in courtroom or leave. We have respect for you. Mr. Williams is innocent. We came here to have a fair trial. And that's what you do. That's why we're going through this process that's taking months. And that's okay, because we're talking about something that could end people's lives. So it's worth it. I am not saying this is accurate, but I was told, and there's witnesses here, I was told that I could not call them, I don't know who they are, but that they were alerted to come to your honorable court today because there was going to be something newsworthy. This immediate was called allegedly by, now I'm not saying any of these prosecutors, but by somebody with their office. And if that really happened, that's outrageous. To be in the middle of a hearing.
That's why I'd like you to file a motion so that we don't further taint the proceedings or I get a chance to kind of see what everybody's allegations are.
And that's, and I don't know if I can file it, but somebody can because I didn't speak to those people. But Your Honor, that's exactly what we don't want to happen. Mr. Williams doesn't want to start over. He doesn't want to do this again. He is struggling every day. He gets here, as the court knows, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning. He gets no sleep, but we are fighting for his liberty. And Your Honor, if this was a orchestrated event, I feel like somebody needs to never do this again in any courtroom. And I know it was orchestrated because I know how Your Honor is. We've all do. We've been before each other a long time now. You're in the middle of a hearing and to see one of our sheriff officials say, get Mr. Ryan, it was clearly, or because nobody would disturb your court. So it was clearly orchestrated with somebody. So my point is, Mr. Williams has done nothing, to my knowledge, to obstruct anything. I have begged this honorable court to consider bond, and I respect your ruling. But the truth of this matter is, today was outrageous, and it does hurt our system of justice. And I ask the court to never, ever allow, if it happened, a spokesperson with the DA's office or anybody to have some inside information and make this really a farce. This was an embarrassment. Thank you, sir.
And as I said, if it's with anybody, if you feel that you need to put it in a motion for me to hear and consider, I would invite you to do so. So, and I can go ahead and take that up. Ms. Lowe?
Thank you, Your Honor. I'd just like to state for the record and for clarity's sake that there is no way anyone from our office could have predicted the events that occurred today. To suggest that it was orchestrated by our office would necessarily lead to a conclusion that the results of today's events somehow were known to people other than the defendants in this case. And that's not possible. The sheriff's office is doing their very best to ensure that this entire courtroom is safe and secure. And to suggest that somehow this event of today was orchestrated would again necessarily imply that we knew that there would be wrongdoing going on and wanted to capture it on camera somehow. So I categorically object to the idea that the state has somehow done some unethical thing and orchestrated an event that only the defendants knew, and thankfully the sheriff's department learned was happening today.
No, I'm just, please, just sit down, Mr. Sharp. Just sit down.
Okay.
Just sit down. Thank you. I've reiterated this time and time again about professionalism. I've tried cases in front of most all of you for a while now. And most courts, in fact, all courts give counsel the benefit of the doubt, and we give you wide latitude to try your cases. So I don't think that anybody in here intentionally comes into court and tries to disrupt our proceedings. So I give you that as a foundational basis. However, what our sheriff's department and other law enforcement professionals are in charge with, and that's the responsibility of keeping everyone in here safe. There are things that they do and that are done outside of our presence to keep our safety at the forefront. And we're going to just have to trust the process. I don't know what happened today. For whatever reason, we'll find out at some point in time. So just let the process proceed, and don't try and cast aspersions on anybody, okay? That's just the basic fundamental truth of everything. And the reason I want you to put everything in writing, or you wish to do so, is so that we don't say things that we cannot necessarily prove, or it disrupts the fundamental fairness for all of you to have a fair trial, the state, that is, and each individual defendant. So I just ask you to just keep that in mind. We'll get to the bottom of it sooner or later. And if you put anything in writing, then certainly we'll go ahead and take it. I'm not just casting aspersions on anybody. I don't think you should do that to each other at this point in time. And with that, let's recess, and we'll talk to everybody tomorrow.
I'm just totally unrelated. I would just like to know if our clients will be here on Friday.
Yeah, everybody's going to be here on Friday at 3:30 for joint strikes. Yes, sir, because that is a critical stage proceeding. Okay.
Your Honor, I need to remind the court, I'm arguing for the Honorable Supreme Court of Georgia in the morning, so I will be here at approximately noon.
Okay. We're not starting on Friday till 3:30 anyways.
I'm saying tomorrow.
Tomorrow, that's fine. Yeah, we got you covered for tomorrow.
Thank you.
All right. Okay. Mr. Shard, anything else?
out.
Okay, anybody else? Okay, all right. Then folks, we'll see everybody tomorrow, morning, starting at 10 o'clock. All right, we're in recess.
You have 2 events tomorrow at 10 a.m.
Christina, how do I save this?
All right, guys, that was it. I'm gonna go to bed because I gotta get up in the morning. You guys have a great night. Bye.